Well, our guest here has served the Diocese of Brooklyn for over 50 years, retiring as an auxiliary bishop just 2 years ago. And the Diocese of Brooklyn serves, as you know, many people, 1.5 million Catholics in over 177 parishes and over 200 churches. Please welcome Bishop Raymond Chippetto to our show. Bishop, thanks for being with us.
It's great to be with you.
It's an amazing story. I mean, the Diocese of Brooklyn is an amazing place, and we're working more and more with the Diocese of Brooklyn. There's a lot of unique components. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about that first?
Sure. The diocese is the Diocese of Immigrants. We have people from every nation and every land. Yeah. We have Mass on Sunday in 29 different languages. Wow. And it's a great place to minister because of the diversity, tremendous diversity in Brooklyn and Queens. And
what about your story? Because you've been involved in lots of different areas of the diocese and diocesan life too, right?
Yes, I have. I was in parish work for many, many years, and then I was a territorial vicar for 5 years, and then I was pastor for over 32 years in 3 different parishes. Wow. And then I was chosen about 12 years ago to be an auxiliary bishop, and that's been a wonderful experience.
So as an auxiliary bishop, I mean, honestly, you know, we talk about bishops all the time on our show, but we don't often talk about the role of the auxiliary bishop and how key that is really to a diocese, right?
Yes, we have been blessed in Brooklyn and Queens to have many auxiliary bishops through the years, and each of us has done our best to help the bishop, the local bishop, the ordinary of the diocese, in whatever he's asked us to do. And I served as Vicar General and Vicar for Clergy when Bishop DiMarzio was the diocesan bishop. So I had many different responsibilities and roles, but each bishop has a role to play in the diocese.
And then to turn the corner in life, this is something that, you know, as you start getting a little older, you start to think about this. It's like how, because in particular, like priests, we sort of, this is not a job for us. Right? It's kind of who we are and what we do. So retirement sort of means something very different to a priest versus a lay person in a job, right? Yeah,
retirement is a very odd word for a bishop or a priest because we don't retire. We do step down from administrative responsibilities. And that has been a blessing because it has freed me up to do more pastoral work, which I enjoy very much.
And talk about that, because I know you and I had a conversation one day, and you actually mentioned to me that you had literally gone to a workshop about this kind of thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, several years ago, I went to a pre-retirement workshop just geared for priests and bishops to help us plan for that day. For me, it was a big worry. What would I do with my time? How would I spend my time? But the workshop Dr. Richard Johnson gave to us, it was out in St. Meinrad's, and it was a wonderful workshop to help us to prepare, to see what our strengths are, to see what our weaknesses are, to see how we need to prepare. So he helped me to get ready.
And so, like, what about life since then? You have this moment where, you know, like you said, all of these duties, if you will, are sort of something that's handed off now. And now here you are, you know, an ordained bishop of the Catholic Church and not really retired. So your ministry sort of grows, I guess, in certain ways, right?
The Lord has given me new opportunities to do things that I've never done before. So that has been, in addition to the ordinary things that we do, like confirmations and parish visits and parish feasts and things like that, I was able now to devote more time to things that are new for me, like giving a priest retreat, giving a parish mission, giving a day of prayer, things like that have been so freeing and so wonderful for me.
And I know didn't you give a day in the Archdiocese of New York for the priests of the Archdiocese, right?
I did.
Talk a little bit about that. That's a formidable crowd.
It was a good experience. I had Cardinal Dolan sitting right in front of me in the audience, and I had a large group of priests. It was up at the seminary in Dunwoody, and there was Bishop Jerry Walsh that invited me to come and give the day of prayer. But I enjoyed it very much.
And I know you talked about some of the challenges of being a priest today. And I know a couple of priests, you know, who attended, and they loved it. And that's a good thing for people to hear, too. Like, what are some of the challenges today for us?
The thing is to make sure that we take time for our spiritual life. That's the primary thing. The gospel yesterday told us that Jesus, in the midst of a busy day, went off to a deserted place and he prayed.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important line in the gospel, because it teaches us, with all the busyness, with all the work that we have to do, with all the ministry we do, if it's not fueled by our prayer life, if we don't take the time for prayer, it's not going to work.
Yeah. And the other part of that I love is he got up early. And I think that's the only way for us, really, is that you just have to do that in the early hours of the morning.
Yes, when things are quiet,
Yeah.
before the rush starts.
Before the emails start, I guess. Right? That's so true.
Right.
I know you're going to stick around, because we're going to have another conversation with Bishop Geppetto, too, so that you have a chance to kind of further understand the depth of what an auxiliary bishop does, what our retired priests and bishops do, because in many ways, Bishop Geppetto's life as a bishop in some ways emulates what a retired priest does, too, in certain ways. And we don't stop saying Mass and things like that. No. So it's good for us to kind of hear that. So you stick around maybe, and we'll
Sure.
tape something for tomorrow maybe.
Okay, thank you.
All right.